Welcome to the module on typology of voluntary organizations and public-private partnership. I am Sibi, your lecturer for this session. The learning objective of this session is that the learner will get a basic picture about voluntary organizations and its various forms, and in the second part he or she will get an idea about public-private partnership system and its silent features. As part of the first part of this presentation, we will be discussing on the concept of the voluntary organizations. Voluntary organizations are not a new phenomena in our country. They play a vital role in the social development of rural and urban communities with an active support of the government. According to Chandra, voluntary organizations vary in size, goals, levels of activities, style of functioning and source of support. Government of India partnership system developed by the Planning Commission defines that voluntary organizations are those organizations engaged in public service based on ethical, cultural, social, economic, political, religious, spiritual, philanthropic, scientific and technological considerations. The voluntary non-profit sector in India encounters a maze of legal provisions which relate to the sector in several different ways. In Indian context, incorporation of a non-profit entity can be carried out in following 5 ways. First, registration under the Societies Registration Act of 1860. Second, the Indian Trust Act of 1882. Third, the Cooperative Societies Act of 1904. Fourth, the Trade Union Act of 1926. And the fifth is the section 25 of the Indian Companies Act of 1956. In other words, voluntary organizations are legally constituted entities that operate independently from the government and are generally considered to be non-state, non-profit oriented groups whose pursue purposes of public interest. Now, we will be discussing on the typology of the voluntary organizations. Voluntary organizations or non-governmental organizations can be broadly classified into 2 dimensions. The first, the target group of the non-governmental organizations is designed to benefit and the activities of the non-governmental organizations is involved in. According to the Global Development Research Center, voluntary organizations can be classified into 4 categories. The first category is charitable organizations. Second is service organizations, third is participatory organizations and the last one is empowering organizations. So, what is a charitable organization? A charitable organizations are those organizations which are doing basic charitable activities like relief. For example, an organization is undertaking various type of relief activities during a natural or human made disaster. Second, a service organization. These organizations work for the provision of health, family planning or education services that benefit vulnerable communities in the society. The third, participatory organizations. Participatory organizations are those organizations that implement programs with greater participation of different stakeholders. Stakeholders are classified into 2, primary stakeholders and secondary stakeholders. The next is empowering organizations. Empowering organizations are those organizations that enable people to develop a clearer understanding of exploitative, social, political and economic factors and simultaneously build capacities of the powerless sections in the community. And some typical forms of non-governmental organizations which are functioning in India are as follows. The first is mother non-governmental organizations, second international organizations, third is national non-governmental organizations, next is interstate non-governmental organizations, next is state level organizations, city based non-governmental organizations, networking organizations, advocacy non-governmental organizations, consultancy and research organizations, training and capacity building organizations, grassroots level organizations and community based organizations. Now, we will be discussing on public private partnership system in development. The Oxford Dictionary defines partnership in terms of relationship between people or organizations. Other associated words include association, cooperation, collaboration, participation, joint decision making and long term relationship. Partnership is a term which evokes much sensitivity with its implicit connotations of sharing and trust. While aid and charity may refer to a more unequal aid relationship, the term partnership suggests equality, respect, reciprocity and ownership. According to Mohideen, partnership is the highest stage of a working relationship between different people brought together by commitment to common objectives, bounded by long experience of working together and sustained by subscription to common vision. The rationale for partnership is the complexity and rapid pace of the modern world, which makes it almost impossible to do anything alone. Stakeholders, that is primary and secondary stakeholders, need a lot of financial and other support systems for carrying out their developmental plans. For addressing these challenges, public-private partnership is an emerging development model practiced in all economies across the globe, and there is no single definition of public-private partnership. It covers a wide range of transactions where the private sector is assigned some responsibility, including investment. It ranges from management contracts with no investment obligations to concession contracts with significant investment obligations in addition to the operational and management obligations. Public-private partnership has become a global phenomena in the delivery of public services, generating greater interest. They are a valuable vehicle for carrying private sector efficiencies in establishment of economic and social infrastructure assets and for the delivery of the quality public services. Now, we will be defining the public-private partnerships. Public-private partnerships are generally defined as a form of cooperation between the government and business agents that agree to work together to reach a common goal, carry out a specific task while jointly assuming the risk and responsibilities, sharing resources and competences. Public-private partnership or otherwise PPP programs aim at financing, designing, implementing and operating public sector amenities and services. What makes a successful public-private partnership? A successful public-private partnership in social sector requires a legal and regulatory framework. Second, a transparency and accountability. Third, suitable public policies. Next is commitment to public good. Fifth is common understanding. Sixth is sharing of resources, and finally consumers and community. Now, we will be discussing on the types of public-private partnership existing globally. Asian Development Bank in the year 2008 lists the following types of public-private partnership. The first is service contract, second is management contract, third is affirmage and lease contracts, the fourth is concession, fifth is build, operate, transfer and similar agreements, and finally joint venture. Now, we will be discussing on service contract. The competent public authority in a country hires a private company or entity to carry out one or more specified tasks or services for a period of time. The duration of this contract is based on the nature of the service required, and typically it is for 1 to 3 years. And what is a management contract? A management contract expands the services to be contracted out to include some or all the management and operations of the public service. The duration of the leasing contract is typically for 10 years. It can be renewed up to 20 years based on the renewal conditions already in the agreement. The next is affirmage and lease contracts. An affirmage is a contract granting use or occupation of a property during a specified time for a specified payment. In an affirmage or a lease contract, the private partner is responsible for service in its entirety. It undertakes obligations relating to quality and service standards to be offered. Next is concession. A concession makes the private sector operator, that is concessionary, responsible for full delivery of the services in a specified area, including operation, maintenance, collection, management, construction and rehabilitation of the system. The owner of a concession in the private sector typically pays either a fixed sum or a percentage of revenue to the owner of the entity from which it operates. A concession contract is typically valid for 25 to 30 years. The next is build, operate, transfer, otherwise BOT and similar arrangements. In a BOT and similar arrangements, a private firm or a consortium finances and develops a new infrastructure project or a major component according to the performance standards set by the government. The private partner provides us the capital required to build the new facility. At the end of the contract, the ownership is transferred to the public sector. And next is joint venture. This is a business agreement in which the parties agree to develop for a fixed time a new entity and new assets by contributing equity. The public and private sector partners can either form a new company or assume joint ownership of an existing company through a sale of shares to one or several private investors. In joint venture, both public and private partners invest in the company and share risk. Now, we will be discussing on the 3 stages of public private partnership. So, the first stage is the stage in which the process define the policy framework, test legal viability. The third is identification of the project pipeline. The next is developing foundation concepts. After that, applying lessons from the earliest deals to other sectors, and finally start to build marketplace. In stage 2 of this process, the first process is introducing a legislative reform, second is publishing the policy and practice the guidelines, the third is establish dedicated public private partnership units, refine public private partnership delivery models, continue to foster place, expand project pipeline and extend to new sectors, and finally leverage new sources of funds. Now, we will be discussing on stage 3. The stage 3 of the public private partnership is, the first stage is fully defined comprehensive system established. The second stage is legal impediments removed. The third is public models refined and reproduced. Next is sophisticated risk allocation. The next is committed deal flow. Next step is long term political consciousness, use of full range of funding sources, and driving infrastructure investment market involving pension funds and private equity funds, and finally well trained civil service utilizes public private partnership experiences. Now, we will be discussing on public private partnership government and voluntary sector initiatives in India. According to the report of the public private partnership subgroup on social sector, Planning Commission, Government of India, community support for government programs was sought during the first 5-year plan for the construction of irrigation canals. During the 7th plan, the Ministry of the Rural Development is set up CAPART for implementing rural development programs through non-profit organizations, and the 9th 5-year plan explicitly recognized the role of the voluntary organizations in social development process. At present, several schemes being implemented in the public private partnership mode in the social sector are in the nature of public funded, but private service delivery and private management programs are going on. The vast response of the voluntary organizations in aftermath of the earthquake in the state of Gujarat was an outstanding example of public-private partnership model which has happened in India. The subsequent reconstruction involving the expenditure of around $2 billion was also implemented through the public-private partnership mode. The government of Gujarat succeeded in construction of the community school buildings, private health centers and private housing more cost effective through public-private partnership. Now, we can see an example from the health sector. Public-private partnership has emerged as an important strategy for health sector reforms. This is an approach to addressing the public health problems through the combined efforts of public, private and development organizations complementing each other by contributing or sharing their core competency. The role of NGO sector is vital in healthcare activities. For example, Aravind Eye Hospital, a private trust, contributes to the state by performing a staggering 42% of the total surgeries in the state, thereby relieving the burden of the state. Summary of this module. The module would given an outline on two main concepts. First, we discussed on the typology of the voluntary organizations. Second, we discussed on the concept of public-private partnership. It also provided silent features of both topics and the examples from field practice. In the module, we also discussed on public-private partnership, government and voluntary sector initiatives which is practiced in India. The module would help the learners to enhance their knowledge and acts as a basic reference material. Thank you for attending the session.